Sonic X Comic Issue 4. We start out with a bunch of panels being wasted on pointless recap of what happened to the kidnapped humans last issue. What a waste of comic space. The point is, some missiles start heading towards Angel Island, which is weird since the missiles were being fired inside a museum. I guess they went through the roof and went up really far. Chris is told to engage live wire device. He's conscious of what's going on, but he can't stop himself from obeying his orders. It's just like he's roboticized, except he's not, because while he has to obey the orders to attack Sonic from his mecha, he still is able to write a message from above with his name on it. Rouge warns Sonic that Chris is trapped in the mecha. How did you find out about Eggman's plan? We could have just settled for Eggman telling them the humans are trapped inside, instead of Rouge knowing about it for no reason. We should have found out why she knew this. The threat that Sonic might destroy his friends too would feel more real if it was established there were bombs in them that would blow up if they were attacked. Like in that one issue of Fleetway where Sonic fought some monkey robots. But instead, the heroes are able to still attack them just fine. In theory at least, because they all get grabbed by the various mechas. Amy gets hit with her own mallet, being told that she deserves it after all the times she hit someone with them. The mechas all have the upper hand against the heroes, creating tension properly. Eggman says that he threatened someone with weapons at a hardware store to get the materials to make the robots. I like that they care enough to explain that. When Sonic's tied up in some ropes, he struggles and crawls over to a ring and magically bursts out of the ropes just because he got it. Then Chuck shows up, piloting a plane with Cream and Knuckles, who go to provide Sonic with backup. The heroes plan to distract the mechas, with Sonic thinking they can get through to their pilots even though they're clearly under Eggman's control. Sonic tells Tails, who looks sad because he really wants something to do, I guess, that he has to get Eggman's device away from him because it's what's controlling the robots. Oh, that's convenient. The robots aren't moving by themselves with their own programming, like I had assumed, since that makes sense. Instead, they're remote controlled, and Tails just has to take away Eggman's remote. Sonic gets grabbed by a robot, and so does Tails, and the heroes waste time trying to talk the pilots out of following their orders. Somehow, Chris keeps himself from being controlled when he's brainwashed, releasing Sonic. That was also overly convenient. Sonic is held up by a robot, and Cheese actually does something useful by flying inside of a mecha holding Tails and getting the President freed. Why is it so easy for him to do that? Why would there be a really easily opened panel for him to open up and free the President? He doesn't have a screwdriver. Why is Chris able to fire a laser to save Sonic when he's trapped in a brainwashing mecha? I like that Tails doesn't get the remote right away and has to struggle to take it out of Eggman's hands. It tries to make him earn his victory properly. Before Eggman can finally press a self-destruct button for the robots that he logically should have pressed right away, Tails snatches it away, and Knuckles lampshades how stupid Eggman was to put an off switch on the remote control. I mean, the robots were too tough in the metal department for the heroes to just keep hitting them until they'd be destroyed, so I guess this was the only solution the writer could think of. But come on, Eggman was clearly surprised that Chris broke free of his control. He couldn't have planned for that because he didn't expect that to happen. Why would it? The programming was literally controlling Chris's body. How would he be able to fight back against it when the force pushing him should be stronger than that? That didn't need to happen. Chris didn't do anything other than fire a laser to free Sonic from the arms of a robot that didn't need to grab him in the first place. When I saw Chuck's plane and him talking like he was having a big damn heroes moment, I assumed that his plane would save the day. If his plane fired lasers to damage the mechas enough that they'd break apart, that would have made more sense. But I guess the logic is supposed to be that there are bombs inside them, and if mechas broke apart, if they're hit by lasers, the bombs would go off. This issue is by Joe Edkin, and that was basically my problem right there. Eggman was made so threatening that the writer wrote himself into a corner. I never thought the mechas were being controlled by an outside force, but apparently they were, purely so that Tails can take away the remote and save the day. And apparently it had a power button on it for no reason. While the fight scene succeeded at being tense, ultimately the heroes didn't earn their victories for the most part. You know it's bad when even Cheese the Chow frees one of them. How did he do that? Seriously. And since all Tails needed to do was pull a remote away from Eggman, the story logically shouldn't have lasted as long as it did. Why didn't he figure out he had to get it away from him on his own instead of Sonic having to tell him? I guess the reason Eggman didn't blow them up right away was because it'd be too quick and easy for him and thus anticlimactic. But the resulting explosions would probably have killed the heroes even more effectively than the mechas attacking them normally. This is why Eggman will never win. And this is what frustrates me about him. Sometimes he has clever ideas, but then he's made to be a complete idiot because it's the only way the heroes can win sometimes. Because if he was allowed to be as smart as he logically would be as a genius, he would have taken over the world by now and killed the heroes in a genre-savvy way. I don't see how Chris resisted the brainwashing. It's even stupider than Uncle Chuck doing it at Sad AM. And it didn't even need to happen. Basically, all that happened was, the heroes get fought by their brainwashed friends and mechas, and then Tails grabs away the remote controlling the mechas to save the day. Also, there was padding in the form of Scarlet, the news reporter, somehow managing to report on what's happening in a building she's not even in. So what's there to really talk about? I definitely like her better in Sonic F, where she compliments her appearance all the time while still talking like a serious news reporter. Talking about her gorgeous hips and hair. It makes her funny and gives her personality. So if she was talking like that, it would have made her padding here feel more worthwhile to read.